Welcome to Racing Legends, Volume 3. I'm Tim Flock. You're about to watch two great 500-mile races run at Darlington, South Carolina. Ned Jarrett wins the first 500 run in 1965, and Richard Petty wins the other 500-miler that was run in 1967. Let's sit back and watch these two great 500-mile races.
Darlington. Been dreaming half my life about getting good enough to run here. Now so scared, I wish I was anyplace else. My heart's running louder than my engine. Well, here we go. I got no chance to win. Too much fast equipment up ahead. Well, too many drivers better than me. Don't even think about winning. Just worry the man ahead don't spin, don't drop oil, don't bounce off the guardrail right in front of me. No way in the world of missing him if he does. It's a nice, cool day, but I'm in a sweat already. Don't think you'd be any different. Then it happens. So fast you can't think. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a car get sideways. I squeak through, bouncing off the guardrail. A couple other fellas weren't so lucky. There's the yellow light. Haul your boot off the throttle. Get her slowed down from 130 and keep a sharp eye for more trouble. I ease past the wreck and pray nobody got hurt. Thank the Lord it wasn't me. I still got a chance to run this race. Curtis Turner, number 14, showing Bobby Johns and Jimmy Pascal the way to go. A million people know those names. Someday they'll know mine. That's why I'm here at Darlington. Don't you worry about us. We're running for money, for glory, because racing's in our blood. We're glad to take the risks. If things happen, well, it's part of the game. Driver education, they don't teach in high school. We try to stay out of each other's way. And we never forget that Darlington's a tough old track. You gotta treat it respectful. Yellowtail. That's what they call us rookies. Don't mean we're scared. Just a warning to everybody that we're 130-mile-an-hour student drivers. Back home, we're top dog on quarter-mile and half-mile dirt tracks. Darlington's different. Big league. I'm going against 43 of the best racing cars I ever saw. Sharpest drivers and mechanics in the business are going after that $100,000 in prize money. The old-timers say, I'd rather run anywhere else, but I'd rather win Darlington. They claim it's the toughest track on the NASCAR circuit. Guess I better practice some. Trick is to learn your way around without tearing up the equipment. Looks right easy, don't it? That's the way this track has it fooling you. Notice how tight we got to run against the guardrail in number 3 corner. Behind the wheel, it's a thrill, let me tell you. Of course, the track's not the only worry. If a driver like Junior Johnson's behind you, you just naturally ease over. If you don't, you'll get by somehow. Or take Freddie Lorenzen. Won more than $250,000 by racing. I never won but a couple of hundred back home. I got to think he can beat me. Now, if my name was Buddy Baker, I could latch on to some experience free of charge. Buddy's dad's a fellow named Buck Baker. And old Buck's run more than 6,000 miles here and won this race 3 times. Experience. That's what counts at Darlington. That's why the rookies listen when old-timers like Ned Jarrett talk. Man needs all the help he can get to beat this track. But when all the advice and practice is done with, man's got to get the job done by himself. Maybe that's what brings the crowds to watch the qualification. We're doing something they can only dream about. It's a 4-lap run against time. Fastest qualifier starts at the front. Now look at Junior Johnson in that Ford. He's running 137.5 miles an hour. New record. It's fast enough to put him in the pure Darlington Record Club. That's an honor for any race driver. We got so much to do, we don't hardly watch qualifying. The experienced mechanics have 1,000 little secrets to help them beat this track. We gotta learn them one by one. There's a lot of tricks to setting up a car for high bank and flat turns both, and make her strong for 500 miles. There ain't enough hours in a day. Wish I was relaxed as Junior Johnson and Herb Nabb, his mechanic. Well, the hare don't always beat the tortoise. It's mighty hard to sleep around Darlington. Some fool thing going on every minute. No sooner is qualifying over than they get a regular war started. It's that same old war that's been going on 100 years or more. Now, this is South Carolina. The race is called the Southern 500. And they don't believe what them northern scholars put in the history books. No, sir. So don't you bet on the winner. Looks like them fearless Southern boys is chasing the Federals off the 4th turn and down the straightaway. Although the Confederates is severely wounded, it's mostly Federals that bite the asphalt. When the firing stops, the flower of Southern manhood has won the day. Armistice. No better kind of war than this. Short and sweet and nobody hurt. Thank you kindly for the battle. See you all again next year. You think them Yankees ever get to win? Parade's a wonderful thing. Gives the kids a chance to play what they've been practicing all year. Gives the rest of us a good excuse not to do Saturday chores, and gives the town a right fine reason to turn off the stoplights, detour the traffic, and enjoy the fun. The U.S. Marine Corps Band sure brightens the day. Doc Adams is here. Stepped right out of Gunsmoke on the TV screen. Got his sidekick with him. Fellow named Festus. Milburn Stone and Ken Curtis are two of the finest actors you'd like to know. Although the actors come from Hollywood, the clowns are homegrown. The Florence, South Carolina Shrine Imps. Of course, the kids are homegrown, too. When the kids grow up, we get a crop that compares with the best. These girls, all from South Carolina, are here in Darlington to compete in the Miss Southern 500 beauty pageant. Yes, sir. Parade's a wonderful thing. Gives us a chance to stare at pretty girls, which we do anyhow, only not so obvious. Then right back to the racetrack, which sure looks different at night. They've locked up the race cars and turned the main straightaway into a parade ground for the beauty pageant. The girls first appear in evening gowns, then wait backstage for a turn in bathing suits. Everybody here is paid $1 admission, which is used to help Darlington's underprivileged children. So they're staring in a good cause. I'm I'm glad to leave the judging to experts, including Festus and Doc. If I had to pick just one, I'd be awake all night thinking about those that got away. There's the winner, Miss Vicki Johnson of Hartsville. Happy as can be, but crying. You just can't figure women. Vicki gets her royal crown from Sherry Sellers, retiring queen, and the trophy from the president of the raceway, Bob Colvin. George Brain of the Pure Oil Company gives Vicki a mink stove, and Ed Hagen, on behalf of the Falstaff Brewing Corporation, presents a college scholarship. He's the only big spender on stage who didn't get kissed. Vicki's first job as Miss Southern 500 will be to kiss the winner of the race. Oh, how I wish that kiss would be mine. This is it. Race day. Just about now, you wonder if you can hold down your breakfast. Start near the back, like me. You don't hope to win. I just want to run good enough for somebody to notice. I want everybody to know I can drive smart, fast, and smooth. Yes, sir, I'd like that. It happened to Freddie Lorenzen. He's a star now. He just waves and the crowd cheers. I'd like that, too. Dick Hutcherson's a rookie here with a great reputation and a factory-sponsored car. That's another thing I want. Jim Pascal's relaxed. Maybe when I've run 4,000 miles here, I'll be able to smile. Marvin Pants has run second. Guess how much he wants to win. Junior Johnson, fastest qualifier, but never won the Southern 500. I wonder if these old veterans still get that feeling in their stomach when the man says, "Gentlemen, start your engine." When my engine fires, I forget my mechanic, I forget my home, I pretty near forget my own name. I'm a race driver, and I'm rolling with the fastest field ever to run on the Darlington Raceway. That's something I want to tell my kids. Keep your fingers crossed. It's a mile and 3/8 around. First two turns are high bank. A 40-foot drop over that guardrail. 6 brands are racing. Ford, Plymouth, Mercury, Dodge, Chevrolet, Pontiac. More than half the field are Fords. There's a crowd of about 60,000. Amazing when you think that the town of Darlington has only 6,000 people. Papers say that fans have come from 50 states. Off the backstretch into the third turn. Flat. Tricky. To go fast through here, you've got to wipe the paint off the right side of your car and leave it on the guardrail. They call it the Darlington Stripe. I'll be running faster than ever in my life. Scares you to think. Turn 4. The pace car scoots out of our way. If our lineup looks good, the starter will give us the green. There it is. Here we go. A nice, clean start. Junior Johnson shows us the way through the first turn. Freddie Lorenzen drops behind him. The rest of us just trying to stay out of trouble. It's a 3-car race. Johnson, Lorenzen, Marvin Payne. Junior Johnson drops out of the high, fast groove near the fence. It looks like he's heading for the pits. Freddie Lorenzen takes charge. Johnson's engine's sick. Lorenzen's flying. Distributor's broken. That car won't run anymore today. This racing game is a heartbreaker. You better believe it. Lorenzen's running like an outlaw. Pants chasing him like the sheriff. There's a spin. It's Bjorn Skeen, a rookie. Oh! Reb Wickersham catches him broadside. Bert Robbins slides and nudges Skeen's wrecked car. Somebody must have dropped oil in that third turn. Robbins is able to keep moving, but he's out of the race. Flag men and caution lights around the track warn us to slow down. Reb Wickersham walked out of that car with a few scratches, but Bjorn Skeen was pinned inside and cut free by the rescue squad. He's been rushed to the hospital. When the track is clear, the safety car heads for the pits, and Fred Lorenzen puts his foot down. Marvin Pants right behind him. Darrell Derringer holds down third spot. Earl Balmer, his teammate, is fourth. Darrell Derringer, driving a Mercury, moves up to challenge Pants' second place Ford. Pants' crew doesn't like the look of it. There goes Derringer, dropping Pants to third place. Derringer wants to lead. He's moving up on Fred Lorenzen. Derringer takes the lead. It might be that Freddie's holding back. 500 miles is a long, long race. Pants is in trouble. He's losing power. Looks like his engine's gone. Hold her, Marvin. When an engine blows, it drops oil where your own wheels can find it. It's a feeling you don't forget. Pants brings it down off the wall and parks it smooth as you please. Derringer is setting a 136-mile-an-hour pace. Fred Lorenzen staying right with him. Another engine blows. Junior Spencer bends a little fence, but that guardrail keeps him inside the ballpark. Spencer will win about $500 today, but a new engine costs thousands. That's racing. While the oil is cleaned off the track, most of the leaders pit for fuel and tires. We lose the least time pitting under the yellow. A good crew can give you 20 gallons of gas, a couple of new tires, and a pat on the back in less than 40 seconds. Don't think your crew goes to sleep when you pull out. They're busy checking tire wear to figure out how many stops you'll need and how the chassis is handling. Buck and Buddy Baker are both in trouble. Buddy's car, number 87 Chevy, is finished, and Buck's Plymouth is overheating. The old pro turns his car over to son Buddy. Guess there's a time to take it easy and let the youngster do the hard work. Buck's won this race 3 times. He don't have to prove anything. Sam McQuaig, Ford number 24, and Cale Yarborough, Ford number 27, to grab first and second spot, with Derringer breathing hard on their necks. Lorenzen's 10 seconds back, waiting. These Chargers have everything going for them. Nerve, enthusiasm, and first-rate equipment. McQuaig's doing what we all dream about, leading the pack in his second Darlington race. Yarborough's trying to pass. They're in deep trouble. Cale Yarborough's over the wall. He never even touched the guardrails. He sailed down that 40-foot slope. McQuaig slides through the infield. Leroy Yarborough was clipped as he tried to avoid the collision. His trunk lid was torn off. Sure glad I wasn't close when it happened. The pit crews, half a mile away, know something's wrong, but no one knows what. That's McQuaig's crew hoping that Sam will come around, but knowing deep in their souls that he should be here by now. Cale Yarborough's mechanic, Banjo Matthews, listens to the broadcast of the race, hoping for news. That car he so carefully put together lies at the bottom of a hill, 100 feet outside the guardrail. There's no word yet on Cale. The announcer has him in sight. Cale's okay. The news goes on the pit board for the rest of us. Mighty good to know. Mr. Roy Yarborough, no relation to Cale, parks it. Too battered to race. He pushed his Chevy right up there with the leaders. Sam McQuaig's all right. You can imagine how he feels. 1 minute leading the race and almost counting that $20,000 first place money. Then half a minute later, he's awarded 29th position in prize money of $575. Even so, he's a lucky fella. Even luckier is Cale Yarborough. Not a scratch. I sailed through the air like an astronaut, he said. By 250 miles, a lot of cars are out of the race. Earl Balmer, Derringer's teammate, has real steering trouble. He's through. Buddy Arrington drops the wheel on the front stretch. It's a close one, but Arrington makes it to the pits. Gets a new tire and goes back into the race. Dick Hutcherson tangles with a wall in another car. Hutcherson ran with the leaders until slowed by this pit stop. Jim Paschal's Chevy leads for a while before his hopes go up in the smoke of an overheated engine. Paschal has been trying to beat this track for 16 years. He hasn't done it yet. One by one, the front runners drop by the wayside. Only Darrell Derringer and Fred Lorenzen are left to battle it out. There's a showdown in every race, a time when you don't hold nothing back. Now's the time a man runs. I mean runs. They're turning laps at 138 miles an hour, faster than the track record. Are going wild. But the pit crews are worried. Lorenzen's mechanic is Jack Sullivan, who set up a winner here for Fireball Roberts. Derringer is driving for Bud Moore, whose car took Joe Weatherly, Speedy Thompson, Buck Baker to victory on this track. Lorenzen's Ford is in the pit, less than 60 miles from the checkered flag. It could be a regular pit stop. The hood is up. The crew's not rushed around. That's bad news. Lorenzen's out of his car. Engine trouble. Suddenly, Derringer's heading for the pits. He's on fire. Derringer's got a 4-lap lead on the rest of the field. His nearest challenger is Ned Jarrett, driving Ford number 11. Derringer's in trouble. Grease seal on the rear axle's given way. But with less than 60 miles to go, Derringer's going to try to run for it. Lorenzen's through. He won the Rebel 300, and he's won just about everything else in racing. But he's never won the Southern 500. I thought I had it in the bag this time, he said. Jarrett's car, now second, is running hot. Jarrett's reduced speed trying to cool the engine. He's still fast enough to take most of us. But is he fast enough to catch Derringer? Only 16 of the 44 starters are still running. Derringer is trying to run without using his brakes. When he does brake, the heat of the hot brake drum ignites the grease leaking out of the rear axle. Watch it. Derringer can't handle that first turn without brakes. If you want to try, you're welcome to it. That axle's hot. Buddy Baker, driving his dad's Plymouth, makes a last-minute pit stop. He's pushed that car into third place, even though he scraped the wall doing it. But 25-year-old Buddy's done a terrific job of driving. Old Buck's mighty pleased. Derringer gives up. He pulls off the track less than 20 miles from the finish line. With Derringer out, Jarrett's car owner, Bondi Long, gives his driver the high sign. Jarrett eases off, lets the tail enders pass. It's the first chance we've had all afternoon to pass a leader. Feels right good. The last lap. Jarrett's got second place Buddy Baker for company. But Baker's too many laps behind to worry about. There's Ned Jarrett taking the checkered flag in the 16th Southern 500. Let me tell you something. One of these days, I'm going to make my crew as happy as that. With Johnny Reb perched on the hood, Ned Jarrett in Ford number 11 eases into the winner's circle. This is Jarrett's first victory on this track, although he's finished in the top 10 in 4 previous races. Jarrett's part of the $100,000 Darlington purse is more than $22,000, which he shares with his mechanic and car owner. Ned's average speed was 115 miles an hour in a race slowed by caution flags. This victory will give Ned Jarrett enough points to make him NASCAR's national champion. His toughest competitor for those NASCAR honors has been Dick Hutcherson, who was awarded the Fireball Roberts Memorial Trophy as Darlington's Rookie of the Year. Every race driver wants to stand on the roof of his car and show his wife and the rest of the world how he feels about himself. Down at your feet, they're piling up trophies and people are handing you checks. Half an hour ago, nobody knew you were in the race, except maybe your mechanics who were praying for you. Now Ned Jarrett's a part of Darlington history, a winner. But in a way, there are no winners at Darlington, only survivors. The winner is that mean old track. I learned to treat it respectful. That's enough to learn for 1 year. Y'all come back, yeah?
Wow, did you see Cale Yarborough in that first turn at Darlington? He cleared that whole wall when he went out into the parking lot. Thank goodness it didn't hurt him. And then in Victory Circle, I was noticing Ned Jarrett with all them pretty beauty queens standing around him. The very first person that he grabbed and give a great big kiss was his lovely wife. And now let's go into this next 500-miler and see who wins it.
Now that the race is over, you go on down to the pits and look around. I've had all I want of this track for 1 year. You fans at the winner's circle are looking at the only fellas got reason to smile. The rest of us drivers were beat, and beat bad. We want to win the Southern 500 at Darlington more than any other race on the NASCAR circuit. Guess that's why it hurts so much to lose. What's it take to win here? That's a long story. Now that the race is over, I'll tell you what this tough old track's taught me. First off, be ready. Get here a week before race day and bring a race car that can run. Then go to work and make her run better. A first-class racing stock car costs maybe $15,000 in parts and labor. When the car's ready, you need a driver who knows his way around the trickiest super speedway there is. Darlington's the toughest track we run. The difference between a good driver and a great one is maybe half a second a lap. You can't pick up a half a second with bravery. We're already so brave, we're darn near scared to death. While you're running your heart out, the best professional drivers in the business are looking you over. The man with the watches is Fred Lorenzen, retired race driver who was working with the Ford team. With Fred is Darrell Derringer, last year's winner. Another Ford's handled by Cale Yarborough, one of the hardest chargers in the business. Dick Hutcherson, smooth and fast, has himself a factory Ford. Same goes for Dave Pearson. Dave is NASCAR's defending champion. That's all you have to know about his style of driving. Leroy Yarborough, fast and fearless, is driving a factory Mercury set up by mechanic Bud Moore. Buddy Baker, son of three-time winner Buck Baker, drives a factory Dodge. Same goes for Sam McQuagg, who can race with the best of them. All of them and all of us are chasing one man and one car. Richard Petty and his Plymouth. Petty's won more races in one season than any other driver in NASCAR history. 20 so far this year. And more races in his lifetime than anybody. 67 Grand Nationals. Now, whose record did he beat? His daddy's. Where did he break that record? Right here at Darlington in the Rebel 400 last spring. No wonder you folks turn out to watch qualification. It's only 4 laps against the electric timer. But if you want to start the race near the front, you better go fast today. Richard's on his qualifying run. And there goes the track record. Petty turns 1 lap at 144 miles an hour. His 4-lap average is 143.4. On this track, that's practically flying. Sweetheart, it hurts our ears worse than it does yours. We're shuffling engines like a deck of cards looking for more speed. You can't go first class anymore without a spare engine or two. When you twist more than 7,000 revolutions a minute out of one of these little darlings, just about anything's likely to come apart. Derringer's Ford tears up 3 engines before they get her qualified. Trouble is, while the mechanics are sweating to get more speed and performance, Maurice Petty, Richard's brother and chief mechanic, isn't sitting still. He's going through the car right down to the last bolt, making sure everything's right. You know what worries us most? When other mechanics got time to do nothing. They must be awful ready. Of course, you folks don't know nothing about all this dirty work. You just come to see a race and have some fun. The folks at Darlington, South Carolina, do what they can to keep you happy till the race. Big-time stock car racing started here in Darlington 18 years ago. The Southern 500 is the granddaddy of all the big races. And there's more excitement on Labor Day weekend than the rest of the year put together. There's another kind of competition. Not so noisy as racing, but just as tense and hard-fought. Golf. The Pure Firebird Invitational Golf Tournament at the Darlington Country Club draws some of the Southeast's top amateur players. Some folks think that golf's the greatest game there is, but they never drove a stock car, except Lee Petty, Richard's father. Lee won himself 3 NASCAR championships before retiring to this game. Well, I'll keep it in mind. Now, this is the kind of excitement I can understand. Competition for the Miss Southern 500 beauty title held at the Darlington Raceway every year. These girls are doing just exactly what I'm trying to do. Show the world that they're a little bit special. a little bit better than the competition. They spend weeks getting ready, smile if they lose, and keep hoping for that one big break that'll put their name in the papers. I wish them all good luck. I'd never be able to judge one of these things. They all look good to me. Seems like Alan Hale can't make up his mind either. I guess if you're a TV star, you can get away with most anything. The winner is Miss Roxanne Copeland. Why does winning always surprise you? Isn't that what they're trying to do? Roxanne gets her crown from the retiring Miss Southern 500, Beth Bryan. Every driver in Darlington will be mighty pleased to meet you in Victory Lane tomorrow, Roxanne. Race mornings, cool and cloudy. The tires last longer when the track's cold, and the engines run stronger. It's likely to be a fast 500, and there's some 65,000 folks to see it. Some of the fans have been here through the night and do their housekeeping open air style. Race fans are a bunch of folks like nothing else in the world. That's a fact. Cars are on the starting line. We're just about ready to go. There's the front row drivers, Buddy Baker and Richard Petty, both famous sons of famous racing fathers. Stock car driving's moved into the second generation. Only one man in the starting field was in the first Southern 500. Jim Pascal. He's been in all 18 of them. They're clearing the track. Drivers are stepping into their cars. We go in through the windows. The doors are welded shut. 44 cars are waiting to roll. The fastest bunch of stock cars in Darlington's history. They're almost 60 miles an hour faster than they were in the first Southern 500. There's no question that your family car is a good deal stronger, faster, and safer because of what's been learned on tracks like Darlington. Right about now, the butterflies in your stomach get as big as pigeons. We're moving out. One slow lap to get the engines warm and settle down for a flying start. Richard Petty changes places with Buddy Baker. Petty, the fastest qualifier, has the right to pick either inside or outside starting position. Because of the banking, the outside position's a shade better. We're moving through the first turn. It's high bank, so there's room for two fast cars to race side by side. In the second row are G.C. Spencer in a Petty engineered Plymouth, number 42. Next to him is Sam McQuagg in Dodge, number 6. Donnie Ellison's number 12 Ford is outside row 3, and on the inside is Paul Goldsmith, Plymouth number 99. Dick Hutcherson and Leroy Yarborough are in the 4th row. Off the second turn, down the backstretch of this 1 3/8 track, heading for turn 3. At racing speed, there's only room for one car through here. If you slide just a little, you bounce off that guardrail, and that's a thrill, let me tell you. They call Darlington the driver's track for just that reason. Any of us would be proud to win here. Rounding turn 4, heading for the starting line and the green flag. Steady now. Here we go! Buddy Baker and Richard Petty duel for position 1, slapping fenders at 140 miles an hour. Buddy Baker takes the lead. Petty's in trouble. Whoo-wee! Hate to think what might have happened. We're strung out with Buddy Baker showing us the way. Richard Petty second. Sam McQuagg nails down 3rd spot. Baker and Petty are moving away, setting new track records. There's a blown engine. Cale Yarborough's Ford is out of the race. Fella gets himself charged up for 500 miles and runs 1.5 miles. That sure hurts. The front runners are setting a 142-mile-an-hour pace. G.C. Spencer's running fourth. Richard's moving up on Buddy Baker. They're catching up with the tail enders. Through the third and fourth turn, it's single file. Richard drops back a little, then punches the throttle, trying to slingshot past Buddy Baker as they hit the front stretch. They're wheel to wheel. Richard's got it. Petty takes the lead. Dave Pearson's number 17 Ford challenges Spencer's Plymouth for fourth place. Pearson is charged to the front from 12th starting position. On the backstretch, Pearson takes fourth. Buddy Baker is in the pits long before a scheduled pit stop. Something's wrong. Baker wouldn't give up second spot unless he had to. Baker's crew is changing the right front tire. It was cut by some pieces of metal on the track. This pit stop takes the pressure off Richard Petty. First Cale Yarborough out. Now Buddy's a lap off the pace. There's trouble. Tiny Lund's engine. Let's go. He's trying to move out of the way, but we've got to slow down together or we'll pile into one another. Lund's in the clear. Oop! Darrell Derringer crunches him. Derringer was trying to slip past the traffic, but all he got for his trouble is a busted hood. Tiny Lund is out of the race. And there's Darrell making a pit stop to see if he did any damage. In a race like this, one unscheduled pit stop and forget about going home winners. There's a car into the pit wall. It's Sam McQuagg. The fans are on their feet yelling, "Get out, Sam! Get out, Sam!" Dick Hutcherson's car tangled with McQuagg's and then slid down into the first turn. Hutcherson drives it off the racetrack. Yellow flags are flying in every direction. McQuagg is out of his car. He looks to be all in one piece. In all my days of racing, I never saw anything like that crash. He's collapsed. I guess the shock is just now catching up with him. Hutcherson's out of his car and seems to be all right. He says that he was tapped on the rear bumper by McQuagg's car. Hutcherson was knocked out of control, and McQuagg slid into the wall at better than 140 miles an hour. McQuagg punched right through 8 inches of reinforced concrete. While we're running slow behind the caution car, there's time to take another look at the crash from a different point of view. Now you know what roll bars, seat belts, and welded reinforcements can do for you. Just save your life, that's all. A $15,000 race car is worth about $100 now. The track's clear. The safety car pulls over, and we're restarted under the green flag. Richard Petty comes steaming back after a pit stop for fuel and tires. He's got a lap lead on most of us. Now he's putting a lap on Darrell Derringer. Buddy Baker, running fit, chases Petty a little too hard. Dave Pearson's number 17 is in second position with Donnie Allison's Ford right on his bumper in third spot. There's a car spinning. Frank Warren loses it in the third turn and almost backs into heavy traffic. Warren keeps his head and steers out of trouble. Bobby Allison, driving number 2 Chevelle, trails smoke out of his blown engine. Bobby was running fine, getting top fuel economy from a small engine and good handling from his lightweight chassis. Well, maybe next year. Richard Petty keeps pounding out the miles in position 1. Look out! Buddy Baker crashes into H.P. Bailey's spinning car. And that's the end of the line for this hard charger. Baker's a little dazed, I guess. A crash like that will rattle your hind teeth. Elmo Langley, sideswiped by Baker's car, limps to the pits. Amazing that thing will still run. Looks like there's going to be some work for Baker's mechanics and for Bailey's crew. Track's clear again. 29 cars still racing, but Petty's in command. Challengers like Hutcherson, McQuagg, Baker, Yarborough, and Derringer have all run into trouble, and Petty's been able to drive his own race. It's not over yet. Petty's led the Southern 500 twice and lost the race in the last 10 miles both times. That's probably what his brother Maurice is thinking right now, wondering if there's anything he forgot to do. Petty keeps his foot in it. If everything's running good at 140, there's no reason to slow down. Funny thing about racing, you slow down a mile or two and the car handles different. Your rhythm changes. And before you know it, you got yourself in trouble. Best to run flat out. Petty puts another lap on Derringer. And on Donnie Allison, now running second. Another car bounces off the wall. That's Paul Goldsmith's number 99. Goldsmith's down out of the groove and out of the race. Another strong car that Petty won't be worrying about. There's Richard now, easing down the pit road. His brother signals him to keep away from the fence. They're going to change all 4 tires on this pit stop. Now you'll see how a first-class crew operates. Eight seconds after he stopped, the right side is up and both tires off. Gas is pouring in from 10-gallon cans while Richard sits there calm as you please. In 20 seconds, the outside tires are changed. They drop the jack and go to work on the inside. 25 seconds. The gas tank is full and overflows through a special vent where taillights used to be. Only 5 men are allowed over the pit wall. 35 seconds. Now, clean the windshield and drop the jack. Go! 4 tires and 20 gallons of gas in 42 seconds. I bet you fellas forgot to give him trading stamps. Petty rolls out, still in the lead. Donnie Allison's Ford is less than a lap behind now. He can still make a race of it. A car slides in turn 1. And there's another driver getting a Darlington education. Somebody dropped oil in that first turn. There's the caution flag. We'll slow down until they get that oil dried off. Dave Pearson's Ford is in the pit, and Pearson is out of the car. Cale Yarborough's going in as a relief driver. Pearson's got something in his eye. Cale Yarborough's been watching this race like a caged tiger since his car went out on the 3rd lap. He's gonna be flying. As Yarborough gets away from the pit wall, Donnie Allison's Ford coasts in with a dead engine. Donnie was the best hope of the Ford team. He'd been closer to Petty longer than any other driver, but there's something wrong now. It's written all over Donnie's face. Hood's up. A battery's being changed. That's going to take some time. Guess Allison's another driver Petty won't be worried about. Richard's flying, setting new records as he goes. He's got that car balanced so well he can pass just about anywhere, except on that flat 3rd turn where we run up against the guardrail. Richard's able to run down the front straightaway inches from the wall. It takes a car that's handling perfect and a lot of concentration. Remember, he's made about 1,000 left turns this afternoon, and you get only one mistake at Darlington. When Richard goes out of sight up the backstretch, his pit crew turn to watch their other car, driven by G.C. Spencer. Spencer moved into 2nd position on Allison's long pit stop, but he's being challenged by Cale Yarborough driving Pearson's Ford. Look at that battle for 2nd place. Yarborough really wants position 2 just in case Petty's car breaks down. Cale Yarborough takes over second. Spencer has a little trouble keeping between the fences. Jim Paschal's Plymouth is in the pits. Looks like he's out for good. Paschal's been driving this track 18 years but never won. He was running 4th. Car spinning. Jack Harden takes the 3rd turn backwards. Harden was a rookie, but he's one of us veterans now. With cars breaking down or spinning 5 miles from the checkered flag, you can bet Petty's crew is still worried. Petty's running smooth as grease, clicking off the laps and looking for that white flag. Here he comes into the front stretch. And there's the flag that means 1 lap to go. Petty's still running full throttle, passing him where he finds him. Halfway up the backstretch, he can coast home from here. The Petty crew and everybody along the pit walls holding their breath. Here he comes. Richard Petty wins the Southern 500. There's the checkered flag for Cale Yarborough in 2nd place, and Spencer, Petty's teammate, in 3rd. Petty won going away. His margin of 5 laps is a Southern 500 record. He's rolling to the winner's circle with an average speed for 500 miles of 130.4 miles an hour, breaking the record set in an accident-free race back in 1963. Folks thought that record could never be broken, but they figured without Richard Petty. Richard's congratulated by Raceway President Barney Wallace. Although Petty's won more than half of all the races he's entered this year, he said, "I'd rather win this race than any other I've ever won." That's the way we drivers feel about the Southern 500. Petty won almost $27,000 this afternoon to bring his year's winnings to more than $110,000. That's pretty fair for a 30-year-old country boy from North Carolina. Richard Petty is the first man in Darlington's history to win both the Rebel 400 and the Southern 500 in the same year. I'm ready to bet that nobody will ever do that again. The Petty family has been trying to win this race for 18 years. Papa Lee won more than 50 races, but never won the Southern 500. And it's taken Richard 9 years to do it. I guess I've got nothing to complain about. Just when things are getting interesting, along comes a fella's wife to put an end to it. You can see that winning means a lot to Richard's wife, Linda. The Pettys have 4 youngsters who are real proud of their daddy. Also in the winner's circle is driver Bud Moore. Barney Wallace presents him with the Bob Colvin Little Guy Award, given to the driver who made the best showing without factory support. Moore finished in 5th place. Best news of all is that Sam McQuagg is unhurt. Worst injury to anybody was Buddy Baker's cut lip. I hope you folks are just as safe driving home in Labor Day traffic. I know I'm going to be real cautious. Like I said, we were beat real bad. And I've had all I want of this track for 1 year. But I've got a score to settle next year in the Southern 500 at Darlington.
I'd like to thank all you race fans for ordering Volume 3. And I'd like to tell you that we still have Volume 1 and also Volume 2. If you'd like to order these and you missed ordering them earlier, you can get our name, address, and phone number at the end of this tape. Thank you for watching.